Okay, so for this deep dive, I want to start with a little a visualization exercise. Just imagine for a second you're running a small business.
Okay.
Let's say it's, I don't know, a bakery, maybe a bookstore. You've been working at it for decades. You're part of the town. People know you. And, after years of work, you've got a modest savings account.
The classic slow and steady model.
Yeah.
It's respectable.
Exactly. But then a competitor moves in, and in just over 10 years, their bank balance doesn't just double.
No.
It goes vertical. I mean, we were talking about going from a few hundred units of currency to over 10,000, maybe even 16,000. It's that kind of hockey stick growth.
That sounds like the absolute dream scenario for any CEO. That's unicorn territory.
It is. But here's the catch. While this one company is just exploding with cash, the entire town around it, the infrastructure, the local economy, the people, it's all reportedly falling apart.
So the neighbors are broke, the roads are crumbling.
And the local school is empty. So the question we have to ask today is this entity a public servant? Or is it a ruthless corporation that's figured out how to profit while the town burns?
That is a heavy, heavy question. And it really forces you to look at the difference between success for an organization and success for the people it's supposed to serve.
Right.
Because we usually assume those two things go hand in hand.
Exactly. But today, we're deep diving into a really provocative piece from the channel Polpati. The video is called 11 Years BJP Politics or Business. And, the title lays it all out. We're unpacking a critique that argues the ruling party in India, the BJP, it shifted its operating model.
The argument being they've stopped acting like a political party and started operating like a high-growth corporate entity.
And what I liked about this source is that it moves beyond just vibes or rhetoric. It's basically conducting a forensic audit. It takes hard financial data and stacks it up against social deliverables. It's asking, where's the money going and what is the public getting in return?
The numbers in this were, honestly, they were shocking.
I had to pause the video, so let's open the books. We're calling this first part the financial disparity.
Okay, let's get into the weeds.
So to really get the scale of this, the source starts with a baseline. They look at the old guard, the Congress Party. Now, for context, Congress ruled India for roughly 70 years.
Right, 70 years. And the source is careful here. They aren't praising Congress. They explicitly say Congress had many flaws and that the public, showed them the door.
They're not saying the old days were perfect.
Not at all. But for the argument, the financial comparison is what matters. After 7 decades in power, running the whole show, the Congress Party is reported to have funds of around 130 crore rupees.
Okay, let's pause on the math. For our listeners around the world, crore.
Right. 1 crore is 10 million. So 130 crore is about 1.3 billion rupees. It's a significant amount of money, for sure.
It's a lot of money to us, yeah. But for a national party in power for 70 years, you could argue that's kind of modest.
That's the baseline they establish. So keep that number in your head. 130 crore over 70 years. Now, let's look at the challenger, the BJP. Much shorter timeline, just 11 years of rule at the center.
And this is where the graph just breaks the ceiling.
It really does. The analysis points out that up until 2024, the BJP had around 100 crore. So roughly comparable. Makes sense.
But then something happens.
A massive influx. The source claims that in just the 2024-25 period, the numbers go haywire.
The transcript mentions something like 6,000 crore pouring in.
Yes, and it just keeps climbing. The source actually tallies the total up to 16,000 crore. The video title is a bit more conservative. It says 10,000, but the speaker in the analysis argues that when you look at all the inflows, you're hitting that 16,000 crore mark.
Just to put that in perspective, going from a few hundred crore to 16,000 crore in a single decade, that's hypergrowth. That is not normal political fundraising.
It's exponential. And this brings us to the core argument. The speaker says, and I'm paraphrasing, I wouldn't mind the party's wealth if the nation's growth mirrored that percentage.
That's the market cap argument. If the CEO gets a huge bonus because the stock doubled, the shareholders are happy too. Everyone wins.
Precisely. But the source is arguing the correlation here is negative. The party's getting richer, but the shareholders, the citizens, are seeing their value erode.
And they list specific countermetrics.
They do. While the party's bank balance was on a moonshot, The source claims other critical indicators were crashing, specifically the value of the rupee, the economy, the constitution, and democracy itself.
Wow. That's a brutal contrast. It frames it as a zero-sum game. Your bank balance is up, but democracy is down.
It's a cynical take, but it aligns with the source's tone. The speaker uses a specific Hindi word to describe the party's state of being. The word is mujid.
Mujid. Tell me about that. What's the connotation?
It's a really loaded term. It implies a state of revelry, enjoyment, self-indulgence. When you're in mujid, you're partying. You're comfortable.
So the accusation is you're not a party struggling for the people anymore.
You're in mujid. You're in it for the accumulation of resources. It argues the party's fortune has totally disconnected from the nation's fortune.
But the critique goes deeper than just the cash, right? Money is just the resource. The real scathing part of this is about efficiency versus intention.
Oh, the efficiency paradox.
Yeah.
This is the part of the source that I think hits hardest because it's so tangible.
It is, because usually we complain about government being incompetent, they're too slow, they're lazy. But this source says the exact opposite. They say the party is terrifyingly efficient.
But only for specific goals. That's the key.
Right. It's not a capability issue, it's a priority issue. And they use this incredible anecdote about a membership drive.
This story is fascinating from just a logistical perspective. The speaker recalls a poster from about 2 years ago. It highlighted a huge achievement. They got 2 core people to join the party in just 8 days.
Okay, again, for everyone listening, 2 crore is 20 million people.
20 million. That's roughly the population of New York State.
In 8 days.
8 days.
How is that even possible? I mean, the paperwork alone.
Well, the source highlights the method, and it's pure process innovation. Missed calls and filling slips. They used a tech-enabled, low-friction entry. You give a missed call, the system captures you, and bam, you're a member.
It shows an incredible back-end machinery. If you can mobilize 20 million people in a week, you have a world-class communication network.
You have data, you have boots on the ground, you have the tech.
So they have the superpower of mobilization. They have the efficiency. They have the tools. But then comes the gut punch from the source.
A gut punch.
They compare this 8-day miracle to a 5-year tragedy.
This is the statistic that hurts. The source contrasts that membership drive with school retention. They point out that over 5 years, 65 lakh children dropped out of school.
65 lakh. That's 6.5 million kids.
6.5 million children lost from the education system. So just picture those two things side by side. 20 million new party members in 8 days. 6.5 million students lost over 5 years.
That paints a devastating picture of intention, doesn't it? Because you can't use the excuse of, oh, it's too hard to reach people.
Exactly. The speaker's argument is, you cannot say you didn't have the time. You cannot say you didn't have the resources. You did the party work in about a week. You had 5 full years to stop those kids from dropping out.
The quote from the source is so powerful. The speaker asks, if you can make 2 crore people join the BJP, you can't stop 65 lakh children from leaving school.
It challenges the very purpose of that efficiency. It's asking, what is this machinery for? The source says the party claims to be the largest in the world. But the source asks, why isn't that same machinery used to make the country the strongest in the world?
It's that personal growth versus national growth thing again.
Exactly. The source argues the intention is personal growth, the growth of the organization. If the intention was national service, that same genius that captures 20 million missed calls could be used to track and retain students.
That is such a good point. I mean, if you have the data to find a voter, you have the data to find a dropout. It really highlights the difference between customers and citizens.
A business wants more customers.
Yeah.
That's the members. A government is supposed to care for citizens. That's the students.
And the source is saying they're prioritizing the customer acquisition model.
And that leads right into the next challenge the speaker throws down. It's almost a dare.
The skill program challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
The speaker basically says, okay, you're good at getting people to sign up. You proved it. So here's my challenge. Join 2 core people to a skill program.
Oh, I love that. Use that same missed call tech, that same blitz, but instead of signing them up for a party membership, sign them up for vocational training. Get them a job skill.
It's a direct test of the politics versus business hypothesis. If you're a political entity concerned with welfare, a skill program is a huge win. But If you're a business concerned with market share, a skill program is a cost center.
While a party member is an asset, that's a cynical but sharp way to see it. A member votes for you. A student just costs money to train.
The speaker is saying, show me you can do the hard thing that costs money, not just the easy thing that builds your power.
And then the source wraps this up with some top-tier sarcasm about employment.
Chuckles. It is pretty biting. The speaker talks about the mistake the party made with their election promises.
Yeah, the famous 2 crore jobs promise. That's been a huge talking point for years.
Right. So the source sarcastically suggests that the party made a verbal slip-up. They claim the party meant to say, we will get 2 crore people to join the BJP every year, but accidentally said, we will give 2 crore jobs every year.
Ouch. That is sharp. Oops, sorry, wrong file.
It's a rhetorical device to hammer the point home. The speaker is saying, look, they delivered on the number 2 crore, they hit the target. It just happened to be for membership, which benefits them, not for employment, which benefits the people.
It just reinforces that central theme. The business is booming, but the service is failing.
And notice the language. It's consistently corporate. Growth, joining, numbers, bank balance. The source is stripping away the ideology and just looking at the ledger.
And on that ledger, according to Paul Patty, the company is rich, but the market is crashing.
Precisely. Usually in a democracy, we assume a party succeeds because the country succeeds. If the economy is good, you get reelected. That's the social contract.
Right, the feedback loop. You do a good job, you keep the job.
But this analysis suggests the feedback loop is broken. The party has found a way to grow independent of the country's actual health.
That's a terrifying thought, that a party could essentially exit the economy of the country it runs. It's like they've insulated themselves from the consequences.
That's the core warning here. It's not just about corruption in the old school sense. It's about a structural shift where the organization's incentives are completely misaligned with the public good. They're optimizing for the wrong metrics.
So to recap what we've unpacked from this Polpati video, first, that staggering financial contrast.
Right. Congress with 130 crore after 70 years versus the BJP with figures climbing to 16,000 crore in just 11.
Second, the market cap argument.
The idea that this wealth is happening alongside a decline in democratic and economic metrics.
Third, and the one I'm going to be thinking about for a while, the efficiency paradox.
The ability to get 20 million members in 8 days, but failing to stop 6.5 million school dropouts over 5 years.
And finally, that sarcastic correction that the machinery is optimized for party expansion, not for creating jobs.
It's a heavy critique. It really forces you to look at political news differently. You have to ask, is this politics or is this just really, really good business?
It shifts the definition of efficiency. We praise leaders for being efficient, but this makes you ask what they are efficient at. Are they efficient at governance or just at capturing market share?
It's like confusing a good sales team with a good product development team.
Exactly. You can sell a lot with great marketing even if the product is breaking. But in politics, the product is people's lives. It's education. It's the economy.
And that really raises the stakes.
Well, this is giving us a lot to think about regarding how we measure political success. It's not just about who wins, but the balance sheet behind the win.
And the opportunity cost. Every rupee spent on acquiring a member is one not spent on saving a student. That's the trade-off.
Before we sign off, here's a final thought for you to chew on, based on everything we've discussed from the source. If we were to audit political parties like corporations, and we decided that social metrics, like school retention or youth employment, were the only product deliverables that mattered, would we consider these organizations profitable? Or would we declare them bankrupt, regardless of how many billions are in their bank accounts?
That is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? I think the source suggests we might be looking at a moral bankruptcy, even if the financial account is overflowing.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.